A cold air intake is the most overhyped mod in automotive history. Manufacturers promise 25 horsepower for $300, but independent dyno tests show most only deliver single-digit gains on stock engines. Here's the brutal truth about whether you're wasting your money. Cold air intakes are the gateway drug of car mods. They promise instant horsepower by feeding your engine cooler, denser air, through a freer-flowing pipe and filter. The theory is solid. Cooler air holds more oxygen means more fuel burned equals more power. But after testing intakes on everything from turbocharged WRXs to naturally aspirated Miatas, I found the reality rarely matches the marketing hype. Most CAIs deliver about 3 to 10 horsepower on otherwise stock engines. That's a far cry from the 15 to 25 horsepower plastered on the box. Your engine is basically an air pump. It mixes air with fuel, ignites it, and makes power. The more oxygen you pack into the cylinders, the more fuel you can burn. Cold air is denser than hot air. Roughly every 10 degrees Fahrenheit drop increases air density by about 1%. Factory intakes typically draw air from inside the engine bay where temperatures can reach 150 to 200 degrees. A properly designed cold air intake relocates the filter outside the engine compartment, sometimes dropping intake temperatures by 30 to 60 degrees. That's theoretically a 3 to 6% increase in air density. The second benefit is reducing airflow restriction. Stock intakes use narrow tubing, sharp bends, and resonator boxes that prioritize silence over flow. Aftermarket CAIs use wider, smoother piping, often 3 inches or larger versus smaller corrugated stock tubes. But here's the catch. Modern stock intakes aren't the restrictive junk they used to be. Many cars already have a form of cold air intake from the factory. Simply slapping on an open cone filter doesn't guarantee improvement. In fact, poorly designed intakes can actually lose power by disrupting airflow meter readings or sucking in hotter air than stock. Not all intakes are created equal. You've got short ram intakes that keep the filter in the engine bay. Basically hot air intakes that sound cool but add minimal power. Then there's true cold air intakes that relocate the filter to the fender or bumper. Budget option, Spectre Performance. Their universal kit runs about $80. Quality is hit or miss, but if you just want noise, it works. Avoid those $50 eBay specials. They often reduce performance. Mainstream choice, K&N Engineering. Their kits run $250 to $400. The 63 series air charger for a 2015-2017 Mustang GT costs $370, part number 632590. K&N typically delivers 4 to 8 horsepower reliably. Plus, many are 50-state legal with CARB approval. AEM pioneered cold air intakes in the import scene. Their kits cost $250 to $350 and use dry filters that don't need oil. The AEM intake for a 2017-2021 Civic Si, part number 21678C, runs $299 and consistently shows 5 to 10 horsepower gains. InGen Technology targets tuner cars. Their SP series cold air designs run $300 to $400. The SP-1202 for a 2004-2007 WRX STI costs $369. They offer optional hydro shields for water protection. Cobb Tuning makes intakes for turbo cars that work with their tunes. The SF intake plus airbox for 2015-2021 WRX runs $490 total. Without a tune, maybe 5 horsepower. With their tune, 10 to 15. Premium options include AFE power at 400 plus and carbon fiber intakes from APR or Aventuri that cost $800 to $1,000 for basically the same 5 horsepower but gorgeous looks. Best bang for buck, AEM, InGen, or K&N if you want proven gains with proper heat shielding. Installation difficulty? About 2 or 3 out of 10. Most installs take 30 minutes to an hour with basic tools. 8mm and 10mm sockets, screwdrivers, maybe pliers. Always disconnect the battery first. This resets the ECU so it can relearn airflow readings. Handle the MAF sensor like it's made of glass. Don't touch the element. Install it in the correct flow direction or your car won't run. Common mistakes? Forgetting to plug the MAF back in causes immediate check engine lights. Over-tightening clamps can crack plastic parts. Missing vacuum line connections introduces unmetered air. For true cold air intakes that route to the fender, you might need to remove a wheel and liner, adding 30 minutes. Critical safety note: if your filter sits low, you risk hydrolock from water ingestion. Driving through deep puddles can destroy your engine instantly. Some brands offer bypass valves or hydro shields, but they're not foolproof. If you live somewhere prone to flooding, consider a short ram instead. Pro tip: keep your stock intake parts. You might need them for emissions testing or if weather gets nasty. Time for real numbers. On naturally aspirated engines, expect 3 to 5 horsepower on small, 4-cylinders like Miatas or base Civics. Performance NA engines like the Civic S. I typically see 3 to 7 horsepower and 2 to 5 pound-feet of torque, mostly at high RPM. Large V8s like the Mustang GT might gain 8 to 12 horsepower, about 2% on a 435 horsepower engine. Here's where it gets interesting. We tested a 2023 Civic Type R with 3 setups. Stock intake: 298 horsepower, 145-degree intake temps. Short ram intake: 299 horsepower, 142-degree temps, basically just noise. True cold air intake with heat shielding: 307 horsepower, 105-degree temps. That's 9 horsepower from a 40-degree temperature drop. Turbocharged engines show better results. A WRX gains 5 to 10 horsepower from an intake alone, but with a proper tune, that jumps to 15 to 20. The intake becomes an enabler for more aggressive tuning. Ford EcoBoost engines see 7 to 12 horsepower gains. More importantly, cold air intakes maintain power better during repeated pulls by reducing heat soak. Some platforms show 0 gains. BMW's S55 engine in the M3 and M4 actually lost 2 to 4 horsepower with aftermarket intakes because the factory system is already optimized. The hard truth? Most gains are 1 to 3%. You won't feel 5 horsepower in daily driving. The biggest change is sound. That deep growl or turbo whoosh tricks your brain into thinking the car is faster. One owner admitted his intake gave his V6 sedan, quote, "a nice little growl of hope," unquote. That growl of hope might be worth more than the actual power gains. Daily driving with a cold air intake changes your car's personality. The biggest difference? Sound. Every acceleration brings a deep growl or hiss. Turbo cars add whooshing and blow-off valve sounds between shifts. At cruise, most intakes stay reasonably quiet, but you might hear a constant sucking sound at certain RPMs. Some find it engaging, others annoying. Fuel economy, despite manufacturer claims, expect virtually no change. Maybe 1% improvement on the highway if you're lucky. Most people actually see worse mileage because they can't stop flooring it to hear the intake. As one owner said, miles per gallon went down, but smiles per gallon went up. Heat soak is real. In stop-and-go traffic, open intakes pull hot engine bay air, making the car feel slightly sluggish until you get moving. This is where enclosed designs shine. Reliability isn't compromised with proper installation, but some platforms require tuning. Subaru WRXSs will run dangerously lean without a tune. One owner logged his car leaning out and knocking above 5 psi boost. Filter maintenance is crucial. Dirty filters flow worse than stock. Clean oiled filters every 30 to 50,000 miles. Dry filters last longer. Over-oiling can foul your MAF sensor, causing drivability issues. In California, non-carb intakes mean failing visual inspection. Either buy carb legal or be ready to swap back for smog checks. The community is split but predictable. Skeptics say modern cars already have cold air intakes from the factory. You're paying for noise. They're not wrong. One Reddit user's response to whether intakes are worth it? Simply quote no, unquote, with hundreds of upvotes. But believers counter with real experiences. They report better throttle response, a more engaging drive, and yes, that addictive sound. A Civic Si owner said the intake gave his car a soul. Now he hears it breathe. Common complaints? Check engine lights from improper installation or missing tunes. MAF sensor fouling from over-oiled filters. The dreaded hydrolock stories. One RSX owner hydrolocked going through an unexpected flooded underpass. Heat-soaked complaints from track drivers seeing 20-degree higher temps with open intakes. The most honest take comes from experienced tuners. Intakes are low priority for performance. Better to spend on tires, brakes, or ECU tuning first. A $400 intake budget buys sticky summer tires that actually improve lap times. But here's the thing. Not everything is about lap times. Sometimes it's about the experience, the sound, the satisfaction of wrenching on your car. The community consensus? Intakes make sense as part of a broader build, not as a standalone miracle mod. So who should actually buy a cold air intake? If you're planning other mods like tuning or exhaust, an intake makes sense as a supporting player. Live in a hot climate or track your car. The cooling benefits help maintain consistent power. Own a turbo car and want those sweet spool sounds? Absolutely worth it. But skip it if your car will stay stock. You'll barely notice 5 horsepower. Modern performance cars often have excellent factory intakes that aftermarket ones can't improve. If you expect huge gains for cheap, you'll be disappointed. And if you regularly drive through deep water, the hydrolock risk isn't worth it. Our verdict? A cold air intake is worth it for the right enthusiast as part of a balanced mod strategy, not as a game changer on its own. For $250 to $400, you'll get 5 to 10 horsepower, better sounds, and slightly sharper response. Just understand what you're really buying. Not massive power, but a more engaging driving experience. Think of it as a supporting actor in your build, not the lead role. Best value picks? For proven gains with proper shielding, go AEM, Engine, or K&N. Avoid the $50 eBay specials. Buy used if possible. The secondhand market has deals at half price, and always research your specific platform. Some cars respond much better than others. At the end of the day, a cold air intake won't transform your car. But for many enthusiasts, that little extra flavor, that growl of hope, makes every drive a bit more special. And sometimes, that's worth more than any dyno sheet can measure. If you found this honest take on cold air intakes valuable, subscribe for more no BS performance reviews. Drop a comment with your intake experiences, gains, regrets, or that one time you almost hydrolocked. And if you're ready to check out the intakes we recommended, head to threepiece.us. Next video, we're putting exhausts on the dyno. Same honest approach, real numbers. See you there.